Welcome back to the two Montys via audio visual link or something. Trying this out for the first time.
Yes, so
25 minutes behind schedule, which is my fault because I'm the biggest technophobe known to man.
Lincoln and I were just saying it's an absolute, I find it incredible that like I'm the old man here, but you are like incapable of fucking dealing with technology.
Now, this is only going to help the people that are watching this on YouTube, but I'm at the farm and I don't know if we'll be able to see them, but you can hear them surely. Can you hear the cows?
No, you can't.
Oh, anyway.
I said, no, you can't.
And they're very noisy.
No, you can't. I can't.
Do you like my hat?
I do. I'm disappointed. So to tell the people who aren't on YouTube, we, like we said for the other episodes, we banked a bunch. So you've seen all of those now, including the now infamous roasting of Jeremy Bell by Nell Dark Jones. So I got
so much fun.
Oh, mate, tremendous. But so I got home from overseas on Friday. Today is Monday, and you'll be hearing this the very next day on Tuesday. And because we are kept apart by the tyranny of distance, we've attempted to do this via some sort of online platform that Lincoln from Glasshouse Films has very kindly put together for us.
Legend. And I think this might be our first ever sober recording. No. I'm very tempted, except I have to take a load of cattle to the sale yards in Inverell this afternoon, so I can't drink at all.
To be honest, if I wasn't doing this, I wouldn't be having a beer. But I was like, fuck it, I'll just go and get a beer. It might hurt my brand if I don't.
Yeah, true. Well,
I was just
boring episode we have put out because
Yeah. I just said to Lincoln, I was very disappointed. Obviously, got home Friday, and then had the calendar remind me I had 2 meetings today, which I was like, fucking meetings, what? So immediately after this, I also have to go to a meeting.
Yeah, no,
just not with cattle.
No. Well, I've got to get back to my 3 couples for this week, and then take the cows to the sale. So bit of work-life balance there, I think.
Yeah, well, mine's been all life, and now I'm suddenly work is injecting itself into it, and I'm less than pleased about it. That's not to say all those beautiful couples out there that will be marrying and meeting shortly, I'm upset with you. I just am quite lazy.
Yeah. So how was your trip? Where'd you go? What'd you do?
The trip was excellent. We did about 4 weeks in Japan, and then 3 weeks in the Philippines, which is all excellent, except the last week we're in like this tropical paradise where it rained the entire time we were there.
Bugger.
But that's what happens, and I think it's on the agenda to return there in a less rainy season, because the Philippines is like the Northern Territory. It's like wet or dry.
Was it monsoon season that you're in? Or?
Yeah, it was rainy season, so it's just running. And then, there's all these little islands that you're supposed to take boats out to, and all the boats are cancelled, everything's cancelled. Yeah. And typically, as we were walking back through town to get the cab to the airport, the sun was out, the birds were singing. But yeah, that was good, mate. It was a very, very, very good. Obviously, virtually 2 months has its ups and downs, but for the most part, it was an outstanding trip.
Oh, very good. Well, you've missed the pretty shitty kind of weather since you've been gone, so don't worry about it.
Yeah, well, and then I've come home and it's delightful, mate. There's all my bloody my citrus trees are in bloom. The bloody, birds are singing. It's fucking fantastic.
I got a lemon and a lime tree for my 30th, actually. So
wow,
that's happened since you've been gone.
Is that from someone that doesn't like you particularly, or?
Because I'm a sour fuck. Yes, and obviously we can't record together because I am staying up at the farm for a couple of days. Had a hectic weekend and got another hectic week. I was just saying this morning, if I was an employee, I would have quit, because whoever booked my calendar is a complete arsehole, sending me overnight, twice in a week.
Yeah, well, and like as we said to you
myself
before we started recording, like the fact that the travel's one thing, but you were like Glen Innes to Newcastle to Queensland in 3 days. I'm like, that you've got it in the wrong order. Something's gone very wrong.
I know. And then this week I do the opposite. I Glen Innes to Queensland to Newcastle. the different weddings.
So this is why we're here with, I've got the earphones circa 2003 in, which, and you don't even have them because I don't even know if you're born then, but...
No, but I do have, I found them in my kit bag the other day, actually, so...
Well, why aren't you using them?
Well, I don't know. Do I need them? Too late.
Well, no, Lincoln will deal with it because he's genius.
We do need some way for people to differentiate us because, as you know, they often get the two Montys confused, and maybe now they can see one's wearing headphones and the other one isn't. And apart from that, there is no distinct difference between us two.
Absolutely identical.
Yeah, so I have a bit of a shocking wedding story from the weekend.
Oh, let's fucking go.
So, as you know, one of the outfits is the arseless chaps. And,
yes.
There's always a lot of talk about that. People often asking why the fuck would somebody want you to wear that to their wedding? And, obviously there's a bit of criticism about it from different people in the world. And one of the questions I get asked, has anyone really objected to the outfit and, made a bit of a fuss about it on the day? And finally have a story.
Someone's kicked off at the wedding.
Yeah, but you'd never guess in what capacity. So, really, really great wedding, great crowd, good couple, Saturday down at Yarramalong Valley Farm Stay. Perfect spot for the chaps to, country sort of vibe.
Yeah.
All things going well. We get to the reception, final formalities left to do, which was literally the first dance, which was the last formality. And then I was to get in the car and drive 9 hours to Queensland. So just about ready to go, watching the first dance, and I felt something warm and wet on my bare ass cheeks. And, all of the thoughts going through my mind, have I just trusted a fart that I shouldn't have trusted?
Yeah.
I have to turn around, and their 2-year-old, who they'd put down for a nap with a bottle, had projectile vomited milk all over my bare ass and chapped. Right.
Wowza.
Yes. But I'm not good with spew, so as soon as I smelled it, I very nearly projectile vomited it all over the kid. But this is all in the back of their footers, like they're doing their first dance. I'm trying to help this kid out without them seeing, because obviously he's covered in spew, and at the same time dry heaving, like quite,
Jesus Christ.
I thought, well, this is funny because nobody has really objected to the outfit as much as a 2-year-old spewing all over.
Yeah, look, there's a as an editorial, as an opinion piece on your pants being thrown up on is it's about as good as it gets.
And that was the end. That was the finish. I left very soon after that because the dance floor kicked off, and there weren't many goodbyes. I said goodbye to the couple, but it wasn't hug and kiss the family because I reeked a spew, and then I obviously had to get the wet wipes.
I want to throw up.
I know, it tidied myself up because I was about to sit in this kid's mess for another 9 hours.
Oh, no. This is awful.
Wasn't a real good finish to the night. So
no, that is upsetting.
Yeah. So anyway, I didn't think that was going to be the way it went down. I thought, maybe some older guest.
Nan's upset.
Kick off about it.
That just made me think of when you're saying it was in the back of all their photos. So, obviously, like I said, home just recently. So my first wedding back isn't until this coming Saturday. But it was Ulysses' birthday on Saturday just gone. And so we've got home Friday.
Yeah.
I haven't slept. It's an overnight flight. Haven't slept on the plane because I fucking can't do it. I've gone to Nell Dark Jones's 40th birthday on 2 hours sleep.
Yeah.
Had a few beers, got home at midnight, had not much more sleep, and then it was the kid's birthday the next morning. And we
did take to get to that point. I thought,
and so we had a party. He had kind of a handful of mates, and we took them out to the jet boat, which launches at Rafferty's. So it's on the lake. And
it's message in the chat.
Yeah. I forgot it said it in there. Yeah, but so anyway, I'm looking, thinking, I wonder who's doing that wedding. And I see Paul Lobb. He, looked very sharp as he does. And then I see the Sarah Luna boys, and I was going to go over and talk to them, but I had to get on the boat and bump my bus, so I didn't.
Yeah.
But mate,
also,
looking around.
Also, not your fucking wedding, and you're not a guest.
No. I was just going to go, g'day boys, how you going? because I'm just a nice fellow like that. But anyway, so we get on, but
TV.
yeah. So we were out in the lake. You go around Pulborough Island, and you do, our mates doing donuts and spraying everyone and digging the nose in and blah blah blah. Anyway, he comes back to where the jetty is, which is right next to the ceremony site at Rafferty's. And the kids are all, because there was our kids and our crew, and then there was another bloke, and he had 3 kids on there, and there was another. It was all kids. There were so many kids. They're all 10-year-old boys.
Yeah.
Splashes, do more, go again. Anyway, old mate, I reckon he's about, 60 metres offshore and right behind the wedding. Like, so the wedding situation is the hedge, and the hedge is open where the couple stand. And old mate just starts he does this thing where he digs the nose in and spins the thing on the nose, basically.
Yeah.
So, mate, it's well and truly right in the back of the photos. And it's just kid, he's got AC/DC blaring out of the speakers. Also, and just
6-litre V8 got at full throttle.
Also, the roar of the engine, fucking
10-year-olds screaming.
Oh, mate, 15, 10-year-olds screaming.
Also, you screaming.
Yeah, mate. And I'm laughing. I texted Sarah Luna boys going, sorry, bit of the jet boat at the back of the photos, boys. But the couple would have been, I reckon they'd have been filthy. And I was just there. It had nothing to do with me. I just happened to be in the boat.
Yeah, they probably should have just pushed the ceremony 30 minutes either side to avoid that situation. But that's
yeah. I guess it's probably when you get the wedding there. I'm sure they don't go, oh, you're just going to have to watch out for the jet boat.
Yeah. So when's your first one back?
Saturday. Yeah, Saturday, but a handful of meetings between now and then. And I'll also plug, and I don't know if you're involved in this, and if you're not, too bad. Stanley Park is having a little showcase on Thursday evening, this Thursday coming.
Okay.
Yeah, well, you won't be here anyway.
I got a wedding at Dark Horse Thursday, so
yeah. And I think Jazz wants to because the weather's all right and it's spring and the sunset's there. She's trying to do a little sunset kind of arrangement.
Yeah.
So any couples looking to get married and look at a cool venue this Thursday, which the date is the 26th, from 4:30 to 6:30 at Stanley Park. I'll be there. I actually look forward to a good thing about doing this is I can flick across to my calendar and see what's coming up. I have something interesting happening in the middle of this week that I don't want to foreshadow, but I'm very keen because so folks, we're only recording one episode today, which is just basically to fill the hole for tomorrow. And then we'll be back at Shout next week. And I have... Huh?
Gay slang?
No, well, possibly. I don't think it has to be gay, though. It could be just slang about filling a hole. Everybody's got one.
That's a you. I had have said that. You would have jumped straight in.
Yeah. But yeah, something interesting that is probably slightly surprising for me to be involved in this week. Oh, I'll tell you off camera because I want to save it for next week.
Okay.
And then Stanley Park, couple of meetings, Stanley Park Thursday, wedding at White Barn on Saturday.
Although it makes a bit more sense. The reason I probably didn't get a bait to the Stanley Park gig is maybe because of that footage we received in an inbox last week.
Where you whip the fairy lights down. Yeah.
Do it. All right. Next minute.
Although, of course, that's not true because you've been there many, many times since that happened.
I know, Gaz was great. No, I maybe do recall a conversation with her and would have told her the calendar. So
yeah.
Wednesday and a Thursday wedding this week. So that's
right. Look at you go.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at. I also get to prop my phone up in front of me. I have quite a number of items here.
Oh, very good.
Do you have a list? Do you got anything?
No, I've been through my list. I just had the vomit story from yesterday, Saturday.
You could. Mate, for a bloke who's doing nothing but weddings, you're pretty light on fucking stories.
No, actually, yesterday was up at Veranda House Country Estate. So if you're driving, make a mental note and Google it because holy shit, this place is incredible. Looks out over the hinterland, Gold Coast. Nice.
That's for you.
I told you about that. Dad's taught all the grandkids.
It's a barn. Yeah.
Yep. Looks out over the hinterlands, which, Tambourine Mountain, they all kind of have the same backdrop. But then this place is like this huge, single level homestead bush either side, whatever. And then it's probably got a dozen different king suites in it. It's got an outdoor spa, an outdoor sauna, an indoor infrared sauna, like a massage.
Yeah, right.
But it's just an Airbnb, so you got to kind of hire the whole thing out. And then there was, this wedding yesterday, super chill, 25 guests, 1:00 ceremony, long lunch, all the guests stayed on site, and ticks a lot of boxes. Pretty epic.
Yeah, right.
Pretty epic.
Have to go to Queensland to do it.
That's it, yeah. So
I can't imagine we've got any Queensland listeners. We would have frightened them off some time ago by making some untoward comment about the state, I'm sure.
Yeah, no, I was definitely blowing up on the way. As soon as you get over the border, fucking Queensland drivers.
Yeah. Oh, mate, they're the worst, honestly. Like the old right-hand fucking lane, they're always in it.
Oh,
it's a classic. It's a classic Queensland driver move that they're like, I don't give a fuck what lane I'm in. I'm going as slow as I like.
I literally did not overtake a single person in Queensland, but I did undertake many.
Yeah. They're fucking mad for it, mate.
Yeah.
It's mostly because I think they probably can't work out their left from their right is probably the biggest problem there.
So anyone,
there we go. Tick the box, Queensland. Goodbye.
Any Queensland listening, if you got overtaken by a silver Land Cruiser with a number plate, yes, you're the arsehole.
Were you caravanning, mate, as well?
No, only because I wasn't quite sure exactly where I was going in the mountain, and I'm glad I didn't because she was pretty steep and pretty twisty getting out of this venue, and I would have got stuck. So I booked a really, top end motel in McLean.
Right.
Dropped in at 2:30 and left at bloody 7, and it was clearly a pet friendly room because it smelt like fucking dog piss. So,
which you love. You love dogs.
But in saying that, I smelt like bloody baby vomit. So
baby vomit. So yeah. The next person in there is like, this room smells like dog piss and baby vomit.
So no, it was all
right. I'm just
excited to hear your midweek little thing.
I'll tell you a bit about it when we get off.
Yeah.
But I just was something on the list here that I thought I'd bring up was. So on Friday, I mentioned it was Nell Dark Jones' birthday on Thursday, and she had a bit of a do on the Friday. And coincidentally, a friend of ours, Oliver Thompson, who's a celebrant from Sydney, messaged me and said, I'm in town, do you want to have a beer? And I said, I'm going to this thing, mate, blah, blah, blah. And I didn't want to, it wasn't my place to invite him, but he went off on his own tangent, messaged Nell, and next thing you know, he's turned up there. So we had a few beers and we were having a chat, and we were talking about that other a podcast, Better Off Dead or whatever the fuck it's called.
Yeah.
And he said, well, it's quite similar to yours. And I went, how so? Like, they're doing their thing, we're doing ours. And he said, well, it's one of those, one talks and the other one doesn't get a chance. It's much the same thing as yours.
I think that'd be the only similarity though. I've really enjoyed having the guests on.
Well, I think that's going to be an ongoing move. Yeah. So again, punters out there or people who might want to be on it, drop us a line. If we don't invite you on, don't feel slighted. There'll be any number of reasons that we don't contact you. You're probably boring or uninteresting, or you're too nice for us. That's probably one of it. Because
maybe just have a real good hard think about who you want to come on with if you're going to come as a pair, because Jeremy did not think that through and he got absolutely demolished by Nell.
Well, I think Jeremy's problem was he didn't think much about anything that came out of his mouth and set himself up for a lot of that. But anyway,
although you got bloody baited into a bit of a Byron show from her as well.
Not even it was nothing, mate. I got but anyway, she was on fire. She was firing red hot, and I think anybody that said anything was probably going to cop a spray.
Yeah.
Although she said it wasn't a spray, it was just a tone. So I don't know what to say about that.
Maybe she's just not stoked about turning 40. I mean, I don't know what she's worried about. She looks like a 12-year-old, boys.
Good. What else you got, mate? Anything?
No, literally. Let me just have a look. Also, you remember where I gave away too many details when we were trying to find the mystery?
Which time?
The mystery man for the
other mystery celebrant. Yes,
celebrant school teacher in Grafton who lives at
Yeah.
Well, she she messaged back after hearing the podcast. I was a bit nervous too because I obviously did give away a lot of details. And a few people had messaged as soon as that episode dropped saying, it like just messaged her name and said, well, this is clearly her. And I was like,
oh, for real? I didn't know that.
Yeah. So people like, because we know the same kind of people.
Yeah.
In town. So there were a few that put the dots together pretty easily. But she messaged and when I saw it, I was like, oh no, she's going to be blowing up about it. But very, very good sport. And good news. Good news and bad news. Bad news, right. She didn't find the bloke. But good news, she's found another one. So
she found a bloke.
She found a bloke, and she said something like, I don't know, he's a sweetheart, something. I'll try and find it, but no, we don't have to worry about finding the original one.
It's probably because we've got 4 listeners, but I was very disappointed in the Sorry, I got distracted then because you are a technological fucking moron. You might not be aware, but there's a chat thread in the side that Lincoln can type into. So the first thing I missed, and I'm just going to do a callback, it said, Jeremy got destroyed like Nell on a train to YE. And then,
this is chat now. This is cool.
Yeah, and then he said, about this new bloke that the mystery celebrant has found. Yes, but where does he live and where does he work and what are the numbers on the back of his CVC on the back of his credit card?
Well, look, just tying back in with me not being able to work technology, I can't find the message thread from her because I can't remember in what app or
amazing
DM site it was on or whatever. I don't know.
So I have a number of things on my list, and I don't want to waste them all today because we're going to need something next week. I should say, for our recording next week, we do already have people lined up, and I think I can announce, and Lincoln can quickly type in the side and tell me if this is, he says yes. So next week we will be recording with the very popular Howie Shearman.
Oh yeah, freshly hitched through.
Freshly hitched. Not like either of us.
Howie.
And Will from Euphoria Films, who is good value and was at the recent gala, wedding, not gala, Sassy's, maybe?
Sassy's. Yeah,
Sassy's, where I was unable to attend because I was overseas. He tells me many people who aren't really acquainted with either him or me went up to him and said, "Hi, Monty, great to see you. I'm blah, blah, blah." So he got mistaken for me on a number of occasions, apparently.
He did. We had a conversation about that. But also, rumour has it you purposely booked your holiday to be away for the Sassies because you're no longer part of the group.
You are a shit-stirring piece of shit. You are well aware that is not the case. And if anything, I was incredibly filled with FOMO because there are a number of events, including the Sassies, that I was away for. I mean, I had a tremendous trip and don't regret that for one second, but certainly, as we've mentioned many, many times in the past, I am a fan of a good time. Yes. And a number of good times went by whilst I was away.
I know, and I'll come clean, I just made that up then. So.
Everybody knows that, you prick.
Oh, God. Although I did love that Kez was inboxing us about the Nell and Jez thing.
She was loving it.
Asking if, are things okay between you two and Nell and Jez? I'm like, oh, yeah, we're fine. It's them you need to worry about.
It's got nothing to do with us. We're fine. We're more than fine.
Even funnier because...
To be honest, I'd never been happier after that episode.
No, and the best thing that wasn't in the podcast is they arrived together, but they left separately. Just picked her up because, anyone that knows Nell knows that she's a big fan of the Foot Falcon, doesn't have a license.
So she never had a license.
Which is a nice way of saying she's a burden on society. He picked her up, brought her to the podcast, and then basically told her to get fucked, and she had to walk home.
Did she? No, she never walked home, did she?
You dropped her home, mate.
Oh, did I? That's mate. It was fucking months ago. I can't remember.
Yeah. So.
Lincoln's just popped into the thread to say the two Montys breaking up friendships one celebrant at a time.
Yeah, well, maybe what's that Fuck Me Dead podcast? What's it called?
Don't know. That's it. Fuck me dead.
Maybe they're not talking anymore.
Well, I know.
I haven't heard any episodes come out since, so maybe they're not going.
How many episodes have you heard, Monty?
I did find the chat from and she said...
Sorry, from who? Oh, my God. Lincoln, you know what you've got to do there, mate. Fuck me swinging.
Oh, God.
Now, I think I'm going to repeat what I said in previous episodes. Every fucking week this happens, you fucking idiot.
Oh my God, that is hilarious. So good on you.
Oh my God. Lincoln was just telling me how easy this episode is going to be to edit because we're on this platform, and now he has to go through and fucking beep someone's name out. That is...
We can't lip read, but I found the chat from the mystery girl who was looking for the mystery man, and yes, she said, oh, hang on, I lost it. He's definitely not the mystery man, but he's a good egg all the same. So she's happy.
Wonderful. Well, that was well worth finding that message and reading her name out.
I actually thought there was more to it, but there wasn't.
No, yeah, good. This is excellent content.
Oh God.
Jesus Christ. Let's move on from that.
That's it. Because she said, I've just started dating someone too. Maybe I'll send him this episode just to show him how unhinged I can be and see if he still likes me.
I mean, and she'd be able to go, well, you might not know it's about me, but then obviously you will read her name out and he'll know straight away. That's incredible. That's incredible work by you.
Thank you.
I'm going to move. I'm going to move straight on.
You go.
No, I have many things in my list that are just, as Renee the celebrant from Melbourne will say, it's just me being negative, but I like ranting. I just like ranting about things. And here's today's one. If you're doing Insta stories and there's more than like 6, fucking, you're wasting everybody's time. Like nobody's flicking through 35 stories about the fucking shit you took earlier. Like no one's... Just keep it brief and fucking move on. Like, honestly, there's nothing worse than opening someone's Insta stories and there's that many dashes at the top that they're in dots and you can't even see how many there are. And you're like, what is this person doing?
Yeah.
I mean, not that you don't know how to work it or do the story, so I don't even know why I'm fucking talking to you. I had a chat to Hope about it.
I've just Googled what's an Instagram story.
Yeah. No, I'll talk to Hope about it.
Yeah, what?
And it's not, and I should say, I'll be very clear, sometimes I'm accused of attacking Hope, and that's not what I'm doing because she does not do that.
Have you just as Hope just posted a heap of stories on my wall, and it's
no. It was actually another vendor who is a perfectly wonderful person, and I quite like. But I opened their stories over the weekend, and I was like, mate, who's going through all of these? You're out of your mind.
Also, and I'll defend the vendor. They probably don't give a fuck about your opinion because you're not the one spending money with them.
And nor should they. There's no one out there that should give a fuck about anything I'm saying.
Yeah, no, that's fair. They do. It upsets a lot of people, but, that's their problem.
Yeah. Well, and speaking of, I've got this on the list too, which is not related to weddings, but it's just people making stupid comments in fucking, anything that someone like is mildly viral on any of those platforms that is popular because it's like cool or whatever. So even your one, like the whip crack and granny fucking thing that got heaps of followers.
Yeah.
There was the stupid comments about fucking slavery or whatever the fuck.
Oh, yeah.
Like I watched one the other day. This is about cakes. That's what made me think. We were saying about upsetting people. And it wasn't wedding cakes. It was this person. So when Deadpool and Wolverine came out, it was this cake making person who made like life-size Deadpool and Wolverine out of cake. And it looked sick. And it was this time lapse of them making it. And so there was like 10 comments of like, oh, that's great. It's fucking wonderful. That's cool, blah, blah, blah. And then there was a bunch of comments going, oh, it's such a shame to see so much cake wasted. Surely you could do something with that. And you're like, shut the fuck up. Like, is that what you've come online to say, that they wasted too much cake?
I'm fat
like,
people.
Fucking get a life.
Yeah, I know. Speaking of fat fucks.
Again, if this is about me, I'm going to be very upset.
We want volley back.
Yeah. That's a gift. Speaking of fat fucks, who ate all my cake?
And the fact that we're sitting there with cake in our hands.
And I'm a fat fuck.
Oh, classic.
Lincoln, drop into me. There you go. I didn't even have to ask him. He already knew. He's dropped into the chat and said, that's 30.
That's 30. Yeah, because now I'm in the chat. I can't see the timer. There we go.
So given that's 30 and that's how Lincoln likes us to keep it, I reckon we can wind this up. Apologies to everyone out there who found this fucking boring. It's a bit weird being separated. We haven't done it before, but it fucking ticked the box. So all of you needy people out there who have to listen to us every Tuesday will have something to do.
And this is pretty much just an inconvenience for us, really, because...
Lincoln's just jumped in the chat and said, your 4 followers, thank you.
4 followers.
I should also say...
And hope.
I should also say... big shout out to the fellow who left his YouTube logged in on a television at a hotel I stayed at in the Philippines, who was probably our most recent subscriber. He subscribed to our podcast. It was the odd man out in his list of subscriptions in his YouTube feed.
What was the recurring theme in his subscription?
It was just it was obviously someone from the Philippines. So there was a lot of like Filipino news services and some kids stuff. So obviously his kids were using it as well. But I watched a number of other comedian podcasts on it. So his algorithm's completely fucked. And he's also subscribed to us now. So thanks.
Hello, everyone in the Philippines.
Yeah, thanks, mate. So when Hope or Lincoln look at the analytics now, if stuff suddenly pops up in the Philippines, you know what's happening.
Yeah, no, very good. Well, maybe you'll get paid to go back there.
Maybe I should.
Or there'll be somebody with a rubber glove waiting for you at the airport on your next trip.
Yeah. Well, win-win, isn't it?
Like I said, headphones, only difference here.
Yeah, and look, the problem now is because we're only doing one episode, I'm just winding up now, so now I have to fucking calm down to get on with the rest of my day.
You know what? Fuck Lincoln, let's just keep going.
No, what time is it? No, I've got a meeting out at 1 o'clock. I have to fuck off.
Yeah, no, I've got to reply to 3 couples and then load some cows, so I better go too. And I have to cut off before I go downstairs because the grandkids are here and probably should not teach them this very fun choice word.
I'm sure they've already heard it, mate.
Yeah. Probably from me too.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
All right, that's it. Bye for now.
Lincoln, I can turn this off. Fuck you.